All right, we are live and recording. All right, what's up, everyone? Hey, it's Mike with BoxBuilder. How's everybody doing? Hope you're having a great Friday. It is wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous outside here in Missouri. And we're coming at you with another BoxBuilder Live, this month. And so with me today, I have Jason Rule from Driven Nutrition, and we're going to be talking about some really cool topics today. So Jason, you should want to say hello to everyone.
Hi. Sorry, I'm not well, I guess you're welcome that I'm not on video. I can't figure out how to turn my screen on. So everyone is you're welcome for not having to look at me.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to spend the first, 5, 10, 15 minutes talking about a really, really cool topic and how you can utilize BoxBuilder to do some things, what we call ascension of your members, or ways to increase that lifetime value for members in your gym. And then here in about middle part of the presentation, Jason's going to hop on board and he's going to talk about how you can use supplementation and put that as part of the 100-day client journey. So let's get into it. So a couple topics for today. We are going to make sure we understand the CrossFit athlete life cycle. That's super, super important to understand how you can ascend and build people into brand ambassadors. The whole goal, the whole part of today's presentation is if we can increase our lifetime value, which means keeping the person in the gym longer, and we can do it through Ascension. How do we automate that process? How do we enhance that experience? That's all what BoxBuilder is all about. So what is Ascension? I'm going to get into that here in a few minutes, and building a culture and how you do that, and then talk about Ascension through the 100-day journey, and we're going to show you some examples how we do that with Driven Nutrition, both at my gym as well as other gyms that are both, BoxBuilder clients as well as Driven clients. So kind of let's get into that. So what is the athlete journey? Well, the athlete journey is all about how people discover your gym, they join your gym, and they live in your gym. And so there's a few different stages, and I've seen anything from 3 stages to 20 stages of the athlete journey, but it's pretty simple, right? They find you, they're aware of you, they may engage with your content, they might do some type of trial, whether that's an intro or a free class. They make the purchase, which is their foundations or membership. We ascend them into other programs, services, products, offerings, and then we turn them into a brand advocate, right? And so at any point in this, you can jump 1 or 2 levels, but you can't jump more than that. That's based around a book, which I think is called The 10 Love Languages or something like that. I haven't read the book, but that was part of a presentation I did on client journeys. So let's kind of dig deeper into this and show you what that looks like. So the athlete journey, right? Awareness. So this is like your social media presence, your referrals, advertising, signage, news articles, et cetera, et cetera. This is what the awareness stage is all about. So then engagement is, what are those offers? What are those things you're sharing? And how do you get people to interact with that? So that could be things like social media, ebooks. That could be courses, webinars, videos, content. That's all about content and engagement. And then so trial. So then there's a lot of different things that people do with trial. So that could be a free class, one-on-one intro, free weeks. I've seen free months, all kinds of different things to just come through that experience. And then when they purchase, we're talking about their foundations, their memberships, personal training, that core offering that you make in your gym. And then Ascension. So that's what really today's all about, is Ascension. So this is where you're upselling and bringing in those additional programs that really convert, or not just convert, but really turn your members into a brand ambassador. And so there's a lot of different things you can do, like different supplemental programs like personal training, supplements in your gym, nutrition coaching, competitions, et cetera, et cetera. There's just so many different options out there for upselling or cross-selling into other programs. And we're going to show you how we do that in BoxBuilder. The goal then is, if you do all of these things and you do them well and you deliver on that experience and that promise, you're going to turn people into brand ambassadors or advocates. And so then you're going to do things like tell your story, refer their friends, wear your gear. And so if you're a BoxBuilder client, then you know that we do this through the 100-day journey in your gym. So let's kind of review that real quick. But this is the 100-day journey in a BoxBuilder gym. So many of you have seen this. If you've ever done a demo with me, or you're a member of BoxBuilder, you're using that platform in your gym, this is what your members go through when they become members. And so over the first 30 days, the goal of the 100-day journey is for us to help you build that culture, right? And culture is such an important piece of Ascension, right? If you establish culture from the day one through their entire journey with you, you can do a lot of really, really cool things in your gym. And so the first 30 days for us is all about introducing the client to the different things that are happening in your gym. It's building rapport with your gym, your coaches, your staff, and then it's giving those touch points for them. And so what I have done is taken those different pieces of culture that I want to have in our gym and have plugged those into BoxBuilder. And so that's already kind of built into the platform, as it's turnkey as you guys start with it. But there's some really cool ways you can kind of enhance that experience. And so what I want to show you today is how you can do that with just an example of nutrition coaching, right? So I want to show you an example of how to set that up inside of BoxBuilder. And then once we set that up, we're going to take another step and look at how we do this with supplements. And so how you can really add supplements from Driven to your program to help ascend people so that they're buying supplements more frequently. They're thinking about that as part of their journey in your gym, and how you could tag that into the 100-day journey. So first things first, let's just show you how you do that inside of BoxBuilder. Let's exit out of here, pull up my demo account. My internet's bugging out on me real quick. There we go. Going a little slow when it's broadcasting. All right, cool. So let's do this. Let me just add a contact real quick so you guys can see BoxBuilder. So new contact. All right, I'm just going to do Ascension. All right, so just adding somebody in to BoxBuilder. We're going to put them in the new client campaign, which is the 100-day journey, and then I will just assign them to me. So, all right, so we're going to add new contact. And so here's this profile. This is the 100-day journey that person is getting. And so at my gym, just as a good example, we bring everybody in personal training, right? And so everybody does personal training before they ever jump into a group class. And the reason for that is we're building that culture of personal training. A few years ago when I just did group classes, or I did free trial classes, we brought a lot more people in the group setting. Well, what was good about that is we could move a lot more people in. The bad thing about that is we moved a lot of people out. We didn't have that great overall experience for people. And so what I want to show you here is how can you establish culture like that. And so for us, as part of the Foundations experience, that first month that they're in or at CrossFit Como, we have them meet with our nutrition coach. And so here's what we do. So we go into we have this user profile, right? We'll come back to that here in a minute. So when you go into admin settings, you can customize the journey for everybody in your gym. When you go into current client campaigns, let's go to new client content. So you have multiple opportunities in the new client campaign to really ascend people into nutrition coaching. One of the most important pieces is on day 25, and that's 25 days into their journey, where you can go. We have this email called Nutrition is the Foundation. So what's nice about this is this email we wrote based around the CrossFit principles of nutrition. And so as a new member is reading this email, they have a great opportunity. They're in the mindset. They're in the thinking about nutrition because it's an important part in their first 100 days to really start to adopt the full lifestyle. This is the opportunity where you go and you actually plug in your nutrition scheduling link. So you can see here in the email, we can edit this, but I need to go grab that link. So let's go back to admin settings. We're going to go to appointments. And then here's my nutrition counseling. So I'm going to grab this link here, go back to current client campaigns, new client content, nutrition is the foundation, right? So I'm a big fan or big believer that when you create content, you may, when you create call to actions, you really only want to have one call to action. So most of our emails you might see have some type of call to action. A lot of times it's just information, but there are call to actions in each email. If you really want to promote your nutrition coaching services, I would recommend getting rid of this call to action about checking out this video. You can actually go in here and edit this entire content. So you can say, instead of what to learn more, check out this video, I would say schedule your free nutrition consultation here, right? And so you can take that, you can link it up, the link, drop that in here, hit insert, and save. So now every client that goes through that 100-day journey is going to have that opportunity to be ascended, upsold, transitioned into that additional program. And so that's where you start to build and you start to bring people into other programs in your gym. And so you can imagine, like, this is just one instance, but if I'm really focused on nutrition counseling, or nutrition coaching, I could put key touch points through that 100-day journey to get people to do that appointment type. And so let's just go back to that contact records page. Let's find that contact. There we go. And you can see that they're already starting through our journeys right here. So then when I go to customize upcoming emails, I can just take a look at, here's all the emails that are coming through. And so the nice thing about this is all what's plugged in because of the edits that we've done on the back end for the gym level. And you can see nutrition is the foundation. There's that link right there to book that demo. So that's a really, really powerful tool that we have in BoxBuilder. But you can even go one step further, is if you have, when you're meeting with your clients or your prospects for the first time before they ever join their gym, and you know the reasons why, you can actually go in here and customize that individual experience for that person, 100%, customized for that individual. So what really makes that awesome is that if you have a path for that person to go on, so maybe you want to do an in-body testing with them every 3 months or every month or whatever it is, you can go in here and plug those little key pieces so where they can self-schedule just directly into the email sequence. And so that's where Ascension into additional programs, how you can automate that entire process. So I'm going to pull up the Facebook chat. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those things in. So let's go back to the presentation. Let's talk to Jason, bring him back on board, and kind of talk to you about something that him and I have been putting together. So Jason, you still there, man?
I'm here.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right, guys. So I want to introduce you to Jason Rule from Driven Nutrition. And Driven's been a company that I've worked with for a few years now, both at CrossFit Como and now working with BoxBuilder. So some really cool things about Driven are, one of the things is it's exclusive to affiliates. So, a lot of these different companies, they probably get started with CrossFit gyms, but then as soon as they start, making a little bit of money, they start jumping out and working with other people. Well, with Driven, they're exclusive to affiliate owners. And so I know Jason works with hundreds of affiliates all over the country. Are you shipping anybody overseas or out of the U.S.?
Yeah, we're Canada, Japan, Australia, a couple other countries I can't think of off the top of my head.
That's awesome. Awesome. So there's a couple of reasons I ended up personally using Driven in our affiliate. So we had tested them out a few years ago. We weren't really sure what our nutrition program wanted to look like and what the supplement side of that looked like. But over time, we kept coming back. Every time we would go check out somebody new, we kept coming back to Driven. And so here's the reason why. There's two main reasons for me. One, actually three reasons. One is they have the best educational tools on the market. If you're not in Jason's Facebook group, I highly, highly recommend joining that. We'll post that in the comments on the link on this post. But the other thing is they like not only that Facebook group is great, but they actually put you and your coaches on journeys of educational materials. So then you can effectively communicate to your members why supplementation is so important. In addition to that, like they write out and create all this great content, you can help repurpose that content, record it in your own voice, and then present that to your clients. In addition to that, the margins on Driven products are probably the best in the industry, at least what I've seen. And they have a really cool thing where you can actually do an affiliate link for your gym. And so you don't have to stock all the products with you all the time. I recommend having some on the shelves at all times, but you can use the affiliate link to send members into increasing that average lifetime value. So with that, Jason, you just want to take over and talk a little bit more about Driven, when you guys got started and all of that, and then we'll talk about how you can insert some different pieces into our 100-day journey and really send members into that supplement game.
Right on. Cool. Yeah. So we've been at it for about 7 years now, and we've kind of gone through the same transition that fellow gyms have. Going from the standpoint of how do we introduce it to members? How do we get those members excited about it? And only we're dealing with the gym and the gym owners. How do we get the owners excited about it? How do we get the coaches excited about it? So, because like you and I both know, if coaches are on board and if it ends up in a coach's bag, it's going to end up in a member's bag. So we've kind of gone through this learning curve of, it's not all about, it isn't at all about just sending products out to somebody's gym and patting you on the back and saying, good luck, we hope you sell it, which is really what most supplement companies do. Most companies in general that supply wholesale to CrossFit gyms in general, I guess. So since we don't advertise, we decided to spend the majority of our time focusing on bringing value directly with the coaches and the owners that we work with. And in that, we've kind of accidentally stumbled on something that can be standardized and cookie cuttered from one gym to the next. Of, okay, this is how you introduce it to members. This is how you talk to your coaches about it. This is how you continue that conversation. And so we kind of guide those gyms through the Ascension process, similar to what you're training now.
Yeah, very cool. So that was one of the, for me personally, that was one of the reasons we were so excited to work with you guys in our gym, is just because we have some basic understanding of what type of supplements we should be taking, but we're not the 100% end all be all experts, and so I feel confident now that I can educate new clients coming through the doors. I can educate my coaches and help them share that information with our athletes.
Right. And our goal is, as we bring that education to where, it's some companies or some multi-level marketing companies, they instill a level of it's this way or no way. Supplements are just that. They supplement a healthy lifestyle and a good diet. So we just bring this information along to the table, and if it's something that you feel like you take and it gives you a benefit, Mike, recommend it to your members. If you don't have an interest in taking casein, don't. Here's the science on it. Here's the data. If you don't think that it's something that's beneficial, stay in tune with what works for you.
Yeah, for sure. So talk a little bit about, before we get into like adding supplementation into our 100-day journey at BoxBuilder, talk a little bit about how gyms, what to expect when they would partner with Driven, what to expect with, not only ordering, but also, I think that affiliate link is a really powerful tool that you guys do that not most companies don't offer that, especially at the percentage that you guys do. So talk a little bit about those things.
Okay. I'll try to stay on task. So if I forget one of those points, let me know.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, first thing you'll notice is we're kind of weird. We do things a lot differently. We don't send out samples. I don't have a wholesale price list. Literally, if you ask me to email you one, I can't. All of our pricing goes through our website. So once somebody is vetted as an affiliate, they're onboarded. They're onboarded by me, every single one of them, and then we start that process of, how do I introduce to members? How do I talk to my coaches about it? And we do that over a period of several days. And I believe on the long side, we've got about 7 months worth of training built out that we're constantly building new track at the end of those rails to help with that. You mentioned the affiliate link. So one of the reasons that we have all orders go through the website is it allows us to spend our time, instead of me taking orders or having a sales rep take orders. It's a convenience factor to where when you need something for your gym, you can just hop online and order it. There are no volume discounts. If you, in my mind, a gym that has 50 members needs profit as much, if not more, as a gym that has 500. So there's a little bit of difference there. But when you place an order, you're ordering at wholesale, and you're securing the fact that there's not a wholesale price list floating around that I emailed out or one of your coaches has. It's sensitive information, and I'm very sensitive to not having members knowing what your prices are. You're the ones building our brands up. So that's one thing that usually shocks people, is the fact that we don't have a price list. But once you're vetted, once you're in the system, you see pricing on the website for every product at your cost, and you can order at whenever you need to. Beyond the training, beyond the products, I think we're a little over 50 SKUs now, 52, 53. One unique thing that we do is, as we're packing the order, you'll actually get a photo. They'll stage it. The guys at the warehouse, they'll stage the order, stack it up, send you a picture, and that's your cue, Mike. Hey, post this up. So you post it up. You've got, depending on where you are in the States, we're in central Missouri, so south central Missouri, I guess. So depending on where you are, it's two days. Pretty much 95% of the country is either 1 or 2 days. So that's your cue to post it up. Your goal is to pre-sell as much as that as you can by promoting it, keeping it front of mind with your members, and telling them, I'll have the packing slip at the front desk. Make sure to stop by and grab your flavor before somebody else does. As opposed to waiting 2 days for it to land, unstock it, and then make it available to your members. You're getting very proactive and keeping that point of communication that this is for sale. This is a little bit of an exclusive, so come and get it while you can.
Yeah. I've always thought that was a nice touch. Every time we've ordered from you all, is I get a text or an email that here's a picture of what's being delivered. So we've used that in our private Facebook group, for example, and post that to all of our athletes and let them know that, hey, this stuff's coming in. Grab it while it's here. And one of the things that we do as a way to build that culture of buy your supplements from the gym is actually I go and I tag those members in my private Facebook group and say, hey, your order's coming in, and that's been a really cool thing because, obviously every gym has like leaders or well-known members or people that are, just looked at as like, those elders in the gym that people look up to. It just kind of naturally happens. Typically it's coaches, but there are other members that, people look up to. And when you see those people doing things, I'll never forget when I first opened my gym, Reebok was huge. Like Reebok was investing so much money in the affiliates. And we were able to buy Reebok shoes direct for $60, right? We got them for half price of what they sold them. And so I bought a pair. I got pairs for my coaches. And then within weeks, literally weeks, like a third of the gym had, Reebok Nano 2s. That's what we had. And it's the same way. It's the same way when you're using the products, and your coaches are using the products, and those are out on the floor. That's what your members want. And so we do that tagging in our Facebook group just as a way for social proof to say, hey, other people do it. And, it never hurts to say, hey, can I get a scoop? So cool. So let's do this. Let's kind of change the conversation a little bit. Let's jump into how do we build nutrition and supplementation into the culture of a CrossFit gym. So talk to me a little bit about your educational series that you send coaches, gym owners, and even, clients at those gyms Let's talk about a little bit what you guys do, and then we'll talk on how we can plug that into BoxBuilder.
Right on. Well, so much of what we do is just kind of a natural progression into what you're already doing and what works so well. You talking about tagging up your Facebook, uh, your sneezers, your mavens, your influencers, is a perfect example of why we have that coach's newsletter. But it goes a little bit farther, because by training coaches on what the products are, how a member can benefit from them, it at least gives them the information to where they're armed. But it also makes it to where it's front of mind with them, to where, oh, hey, Mike, next time you need to place an order, get me a thing of casein. I've been needing to try it. I've got several members doing the RP diet, so I want to try it first to get it in. Then the psychology of that connection comes in to where, as you post up and you tag that coach, your members are going to see it, and they're going to see, okay, Bob's getting a casein or Mike's getting a casein. They're going to go to Mike and say, look, dude, why are you taking casein? So it gets away from always constantly having to sell a message into somebody, but just raising the awareness level with the people in your gym, your coaches, yourself, and then your members, like you said, going through that ascension process, your members, to where they're seeing it consistently in your gym, to where they go and then they create dialogue to your coaches or to you. You know, why is Mike keep ordering this casein that I keep seeing? What's the deal with that? So it ties in perfect to what you guys are already doing, which is just creating a tight community where information is shared freely back and forth. And then we're just and one thing I want to point out, here's, I guess, an example of how we're a little bit weird. I'm going to be using Driven Nutrition. Obviously, I'm biased, but all of these ideas are going to work for Fitted, Killcliff, shirts. I don't care. It's so benign, and it's a general truism is going to work from brand to brand. And I hope that you don't, any of your listeners listen to this and realize, like, you can plug this into whatever brand it is you're selling right now, and these ideas will work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you know me, man. All we try to do here at BoxBuilder is just, provide value. So that's why we talk to, people like you, experts in the field that have helped so many other people, and just get them in front of, the people that have invested in BoxBuilder, or, the people maybe even considering BoxBuilder. We have our Facebook group as a way to, help. The goal is to really help change the industry, right? So we have some amazing people in this industry serving, others, and really changing people's lives. And it's so important to me. I mean, this is one of the big reasons we created our platform, to be able to give these people a way to make a living, make a profit. And, you're going to get a major portion of, your income every month is directly from training revenue, but you need to supplement that somehow. So can you ascend people into personal training, nutrition coaching, supplements, t-shirt retail sales? All of these different pieces are so important to have a successful business. I come from the background of a restaurant industry. You better believe, the things that we teach people day one, cashiers day one learn and know how to upsell at a register. That's such an important piece. Because if you increase profitability just by a quarter, and the restaurants I worked with did 4 million transactions every year, you increase that by a quarter, that was about $300,000 of revenue. It's incredible. Obviously we're not talking that scale in most CrossFit gyms, or probably any. However, a couple $1,000 every year. We were talking about this the other day. If you can make an extra $5-6 grand a year, what does that do for your family? Right? We all own these small businesses. We know the economics of it. But if you can make 5, 6, 10 grand extra a year, maybe that's your car payment. Maybe that's a really nice vacation for you and your wife and your kids. I mean, this stuff's important. We deserve to make a profit at our affiliates, 100%. So cool. I'll stop ranting on that, because I could talk all day about it. But
no, I want to add one thing to it, and because the mindsets are the same. And Zig Ziglar always had a quote: "You can have everything in life you want if you can help enough other people get what they want." And BoxBuilder Driven, the models are very similar, to where we want to provide a really good experience for the members by offering top shelf products. We want to provide a top grade experience for the owners, and we want to be able to create a profit center inside of your gym. And if we do that, by default, we should be successful. And BoxBuilder is the same way. So I've always really loved that quote.
Yeah, that's great. That's great stuff. Cool. So let's do this. Let's hop over into BoxBuilder, and let's hop into kind of the plan that you helped outline for me. So a couple of days ago, you and I, we got on the phone. We were chatting about all kinds of stuff like Facebook bots and marketing, and we got into I got into the 100-day campaign. So I sent you our emails. I sent you the overview of what the 100-day campaign looks like, and then you came back and delivered some really cool stuff. So I want to make sure everybody gets to see kind of the overview, and then you can talk about what you want to do in each of these parts of the journey.
Okay.
So let's do this. So
now, are you just pulling up the emails that I had edited so we can talk about the bottom?
Yeah, so let's talk about this part. This is the overview. This is what you sent me, except you sent me the individual emails. So this is just the overview. So what I did is I just pulled, here at the top, what day of the journey, the 100-day journey that is, the subject of the email. So, everybody that's on BoxBuilder can see, okay, these are the emails that are, we think, really important. And then you can just go through, go through a little bit about, these are the topics that you had sent over to me. So if you want to kind of work through that, and I can also pull, reference this overview as well.
I've got the overview, and
okay.
I'm going to, on my end, I'm going to pull up the notes that I have. Then that way we don't cloud the screen.
Okay, perfect.
Hold on just a second, guys.
While Jason's pulling that stuff up, if you have any questions about Ascension, how to get started with Driven, any of those types of topics, feel free to toss that in the chat. On the video, I'm watching that as we talk today, because we want to make sure we answer any of those questions. And after we work through these, after we kind of outline this overview, these different pieces of content that you can add into, your, customize that journey inside of BoxBuilder. We actually have some of the content pieces. Jason sent those over to me, so we'd be more than happy to provide those to you as a part of, this presentation today. So.
All right. So pulling up email number 1. I'd put the, day 4 email. I'd put in there, the idea is no matter what you're selling, don't be shy about it. Let your members know what is available, what it is they're seeing around their gym. Because you have to remember, they're coming in with fresh eyes. This is day 4, day 5, maybe, of them getting a workout in. They've started seeing the cool kids, the crowds, they're assimilating into the groups, but they see these different paraphernalia, if you will, of things they've never been experienced to. So if you sell wrist wraps, if you sell blender bottles, if you sell Fit Aid, Kill Cliff, just make a list of those. Then that way it's front of mind, so people know, like, oh, cool, so they sell supplements. They may not ask about it. It may not do anything other than just set in the back of their minds, or by letting them know that we sell jump ropes. Maybe next time they go to Walmart, instead of buying a jump rope there, they'll pick one up from you that's going to create better value for them. So introducing retail early, in my opinion, is key. If that's something you're wanting to train and get them to be part of your community, and again, this goes for whatever brand, whatever it is, offering that it is that you're putting into it, introduce it early. So the bro scoop idea, let me go to that screen. The bro scoop idea is just this funny thing that we came up with is, hey bro, can I get a scoop? So we all give them away. It cost us money, but just offhandedly introducing, guys, if you do see a protein or an amino acid that you'd like to try, let us know. We're happy to get you set up with a sample so you can try it, and then we'll answer any questions you might have about it.
Yeah, so we kind of that's what we follow at CrossFit Como. So part of our introduction into people into our gym, when they are finished their first workout with their coach, we give them a kill cliff or fit aid. That's one of the first things that we do. Their next workout, we give them protein and start talking about recovery process. So we'll get a water, we'll toss a bro scoop in there, and we get them tasting the product right away, which creates a great conversation piece on why they need, protein. So
Yeah, you have to remember that some of these guys, if they're new to exercise entirely, they may think that a scoop of protein will shut down their kidneys. This is something that I deal with quite a bit. Is there's no barrier to entry for a member to try a fit aid or a kill cliff. Like that's just it's a canned beverage, so it's normal. Just drink it. I'm not worried about any mental hurdles to get over. But creatine isn't the same situation as the safety profile of vitamin C, but we still have to raise the awareness about it.
Yeah.
So by introducing it, that's just something to keep in mind as you're talking with members about us. There is a barrier to entry with supplements that sometimes you're going to have to deal with that isn't the same as dealing with a fit aid or a kill cliff conversion.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. So then we talked about day 18. So about 3 weeks into that journey, we sent out them an email called Intensity, and it talks about all about mechanics, consistency, intensity, which is very, very important. And so you had recommended adding some additional content around supplementations at that point.
Yep. So here you want to people are just dead sore. Actually, they're past that, I guess, but they're still dealing with the angst of moving and stuff like that. So if you can mention to them the benefits of increasing their protein intake. So if you want to link to a specific article in your blog, we do have a top 5 supplements for CrossFit gyms that you can use. And the nice thing about that is Michael had mentioned earlier that we have an affiliate link. So if you can drive traffic into your blog, top 5 supplements for CrossFit, and it talks about soreness, it talks about the benefits of amino acids and overall raising your protein intake. And if someone does click on your affiliate link inside of there, if they were to order, 2 things are going to happen. One is the affiliate will get a 30% credit for anything that's ordered. 2 is they're going to pay a little bit more than what they would have in your gym. So it's our hope that when they see the price, they're going to know that you guys charge $5 less, for example, for driven whey than we do on our website. Plus, you don't have shipping. So it's going to create that dialogue back to you guys and say, hey, next time you're ordering, make sure to get me one of those 2-pound banana.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. And so that kind of goes into, a week later is nutrition is the foundation. So, I just showed as the example as a way, one way we can get people, into your nutrition coaching program is, creating that link from that appointment type. But you actually kind of, you just kind of talked about it a little bit is, sharing that blog post about those top 5 supplements. So I think that affiliate link is such a really cool and important piece, to have people, click on that, you get a little bit of commission. You had to carry no inventory. I mean, that's such a valuable tool for a CrossFit affiliate.
Well, and what we find is most affiliates use it not so much as a sales tool. It's there in case they do order, but they use it as a training tool to educate their members as well as their coaches. So they drive it in to raise awareness and to raise interest for it, and then they circle back. Would you like me to get you one of those? But most of the time, it's actually the member coming to the owner or the coach that shared it with them. Get me an amino next time you guys order. I want the lemonade.
Yeah, fantastic. Cool. So I've always been a big fan of, getting our members quickly and early on into our gear, right? Like if you can get them in a CrossFit Como t-shirt, within the first few weeks, 6 weeks or so of their client journey, then you are, you're going to see them around town wearing your clothes. You're going to see that they're going to tell people about it. They're going to get questions asked. I mean, I go to the grocery store all the time, and if somebody saw something on our Facebook page, or I get questioned. I'm like, hey, they're like, hey, oh, you do CrossFit? That's cool. So we actually built that into the configuration for BoxBuilder. Is offering a discount to get people into the gym. And the sweet spot I found is either free or gave them some kind of value of like $10 off. And so you'd recommended, why don't you toss something in there related to Driven?
Right, a blender bottle, because that's going to be one of the things that they see is kind of the normal, just that, oh, that's what we do here. So when they need a blender bottle, they'll be front of mind that you guys have it because all of your other athletes are using it. And if you have your own blender bottles, by all means do that. But if you're going to sell a shirt, also include a blender bottle with it, because that's going to be something that they're going to bring to class every day until they lose it or leave it with protein in their car, and then they're going to need to buy another one. So it's a great add-on.
Yeah, for sure. And so then we have a email on day 50. It's called, "What do I do when I'm not in the gym?" And it's all about how to recover properly, how to just kind of go about your day. And you had wrote in there, just tag us. And so talk to me a little bit about what you were thinking on that.
Right on. So we do the same thing with our affiliates. We ask you guys to tag us when you post up about the products or when you're talking about the success of a member. What I'm encouraging in this email is do the same. Intentionally ask your members to tag you guys in social media when they're out enjoying their fitness. If they're out hiking or something like that, just encourage them. And then it's really important when they do that to share it, to repost it, because if they're tagging you, they're cool with it, right? So take their success, use their success as an advertisement for your business. So it's not always about CrossFit or smashing a watt or anything else. It's just about life and improving health for someone else. And oh, by the way, here's one of our successful members here. So by intentionally asking them to do that, you create content for yourself, and that's hard to come up with constantly, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good point too. Is that's part of the way you can create a brand ambassador, and that's really one of the biggest things I really focus on when I'm sharing people about BoxBuilder. And our goal when you convert that person, right, when you get them as a member in the gym, we need to accomplish two things: build you a brand ambassador, so somebody that's going to be with you forever, and by doing that, you're going to create lifetime value. And so, constantly creating content does get hard, right? If that's not a natural thing for you, it's hard. But why not go out and celebrate the success of your members? Because we all have these people in our gyms that tag the gym, pretty much in everything they do. Like, hey, I ate healthy tonight. Tag CrossFit Como. I smashed this, muscle up workout. They tag us. But when they go out and express their fitness, when they're doing new things. If we can get them to relate back, that's awesome. So that's a great suggestion.
So one thing that I'll add to that as you're talking, a lot of times it's hard, like any business deals with the struggles of how do I get people to interact with my brand. Go interact with them. As soon as somebody signs up from your business page, go follow their Instagram account and like everything that they post, everything. And if you see a comment that has to do with fitness, or has to do with anything that you're proud of, that you're seeing a benefit for them through your business, tell them congratulations, high five them. Do that first, and then the celebration of you comes out through their page. So go follow every single one, high five every single member in the face 20 times. And on social media, it's key. Because there isn't a chicken or the egg. It's always the egg is coming first, and the egg starts with you planting the idea and the seed that you're interacting and you're engaging with them in their environment.
Yeah, that's key. That's key. Cool. So we know, like in the CrossFit experience, like at some point in that person's first few months that they're in the gym, they're going to be traveling, and they want, that's probably one of the biggest questions I used to get, especially when we first opened. I'm in a very, very transient town, as you're pretty familiar with Columbia. People travel all over the place all the time. We always have people in and out of the gym because of that. So we just put in travel workouts. What do I do when I'm not in the gym? And so these are just some standard workouts that you can do in a hotel, you can do on a beach, There's a lot of different varieties. That way they're continuously working out and thinking about it, so they don't. One of the biggest worries that CrossFitters have is when they're gone for a week, how sore they're going to be when they come back finally, right? That's something you hear all the time. And so we just provide that value to them to keep them consistent. So when they come back, they don't feel so, rocked. So talk to me a little bit about, your suggestion for day 64.
I just put in here, put in quotes, try to stay diligent with your meals. And this is coming from personal experience. If this isn't something you've done, either try it or share your experience, because you may have a better system than I do. But one easy hack that I found is if I'm traveling, I'll throw a couple scoops of protein in Ziploc bags and travel with them. And then if I know I'm going to be going into a place where I'm going to have a train wreck meal, I'll drink, a scoop of Driven Whey. And one scoop is essentially a big chicken breast. So do that 5, 10, 15 minutes before you eat, and you're not going to be as hungry. So you're not going to go in and just absolutely smash yourself with a diet. And there's other hacks, granola bars, but giving them the tools to follow through just through a suggestion are things that, again, 60 days ago, some of these people hadn't had much experience with exercise, much less supplementation. So, I didn't realize I could drink 6 ounces of water, put a scoop of protein in there, taste delicious, and get the nutrition of a chicken breast. So that's just a little thing that I found. And then if you include your Driven affiliate link in the blog post, as I mentioned in the email, you can get some sample packets either through here or stop by the front desk and we'll get you set up.
Yeah.
And then I just saw one of our affiliates today post up, they sell the sample packets for $2 a piece.
Nice. Awesome. So one more piece, one last kind of important touch point, the 100-day journey. And this is one I really think is great, especially for content creation. So, earlier you kind of mentioned that, we don't ask enough of our clients to just, they'll do it. We just have to ask, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we do a lot of asking in the 100-day journey. One of those asks is called Your Story Matters. That's an email sequence that we wrote, all based around getting that success story from your client. Because you'll never create a testimonial unless you ask. I mean, yes, people will email you, but it's few and far between. When I built this into my gym back in 2013, it used to go out on the 75th check-in that somebody had in our membership management platform at the time. And so I knew basically every 3-ish months, I was going to get 1 or 2 stories, right? And then after, a year's time, we started getting stories every single month from our members, which created this really great content. We've gotten better about how we present that content, but it's created this really nice success story feedback loop. And so you had recommended doing what with that?
Once they fill it out, give them something free, a blender bottle. Go back to the thing you offered a $10 coupon on, a free shirt and a blender bottle. Then that way they can rep your company and whatever brand you have some skin in the game with. So if it's Driven Nutrition, great. If it's another supplement company, fine. But give them something from both brands, so when they're out in the community, outside of your community also, that they're repping your product. So you're going to take their testimonial, use it on social media, hopefully, brag it up, and then people are going to see that person wearing your gear. And I mean, that's cheap. Got $10 to $15 in that 2-pack between a blender bottle and a shirt.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. So I think that comes to the end of our talk today. Oh, we have some more. I forgot I wrote this slide. But why don't you get into a little bit about some additional strategies that gyms can do to really help people bring supplements as part of the culture inside of a gym. So I just wrote a couple ideas that I had, things that we have discussed in my gym. But I know number 2 on that monthly pre-order is pretty important for a lot of gyms. And it's a great way to get started with the supplement piece in your business.
It is. The monthly pre-orders is great because you can intentionally focus on it for a short period of time. So it's a small sprint for you and your coaches. So you coordinate, you circle up and say, okay, here's the standard practices that we're going to do. We're going to talk about it before every class. Guys, on the 7th, we're going to be placing the pre-order. Make sure to go by the front desk so you don't miss out. Every single class, you have that conversation. You put the pre-sale sheet on the front desk, people sign up, and then you just push. You post about it every day, Instagram, Facebook. And then on the 7th, you make one last post that morning. Say, guys, today's the last day. If you haven't gotten your order in, send me a message, send me a text, put it in Pony Express. I don't care, but get it to me. We're placing the order this afternoon. And then circle back when you get the photo of the product, or if it's another company and the product lands 2 or 3 days later, take a picture of it and tag every freaking member that bought, and then offer to order one more time. What you do with that is you drive sales through the roof for a short period of time without a lot of capital risk. And please remember, if you do that, no matter what the brand is, don't just order what was ordered. Order what was ordered and then put the profit back into more stock. Because as soon as Bob realizes that Mike ordered his creatine again and he's been pulling away, getting the gains, he's going to get pissed. And then Bob's going to go to the coach and say, all right, give me one of those creatine. So if you give him one more chance the next day, usually you can see a 20-25% bump on that second order, all within that same period of time.
Yeah, that's really good. So many of the people watching this probably don't realize, but I've had this conversation with you a few different times. And so one of the things visions that I have for BoxBuilder and something we really, really want to implement is obviously custom campaigns. And so one thing I think that would really benefit, and it's something I've requested and I think we'll have in play here in a few months, is this ability to do this custom campaign that's recurring monthly. And so this is where we can do some things like automate, at least from an email sequencing standpoint, automate that pre-order system that you just described. So that's something we're going to map out at some point, and I really want to build into the system. Also tease out another idea that we possibly could do, and I think this something is definitely realistic, is in the configuration campaign for members is putting your driven affiliate link in there, so that when you customize maybe those emails that you gave us some suggestions on, we can put that link in those emails. So then automatically they just have to put their driven affiliate link in there, and then the gym's going to be making a little extra money and educating their members and helping them get a little healthier. So that's some stuff I'll take back to the development team. I think that'd be a really great feature for to them, for our gyms to add. But what a really nice nice way to kind of automate a couple of different systems for our gym owners.
Well, this adds nicely into what you said. Coming up with content is tough. So here's an idea to tack onto the back of that is, as a coach, as an owner, you're going to be getting an email about probably over 5-6 days talking specifically about a product. Now, not all of those products are going to speak to you, or you're really not going to care about all of them. But when one does, if you guys end up making that customization, how badass is it to take the article we made, put your affiliate link in where it says shop now, and as well as the product picture to drive that in, or go a step farther to where it's integrated into BoxBuilder, to where they can click on it, buy it directly through your affiliate credit card processor, and then that adds it to your monthly pre-order. That optimally, that would be best, and that way you're getting the lion's share of the profit.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. So cool. I do have one question. I wrote this on here about coach compensation. Do you have any gyms that are compensating their coaches for upselling the products?
We have a few. And so everybody, our Facebook group, and Mike, if you don't mind putting this in there, our Facebook group is Building Retail in Your Box. I really can't speak too well as far as what the results are one way or the other. My personal feeling is I would rather sell coaches product at cost and have a heart-to-heart with them and tell them, guys, this is going to be an important part of our business for the rest of the year and beyond. So we need your help. We need your support to get behind this. I've just found that within the community that not having a compensation package for coaches, depending on your community, is best.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got coaches who can sell, that's a different conversation. But if not, having a compensation package may work against you. It just depends on what your community is. So I know that this is something that's been brought up a few times in the group, and like all ideas, I guess there's polarized views, but it is a case by case situation. And there's some coaches that won't sell. Like they have no interest in offering the products to their members. They don't believe in it, which is the best to me. That's the best kind of coach to have, because they're being genuine, they're being truthful and following themselves. And then the other coaches that believe in it, that want to, are doing the same thing. So it really just depends.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's really good feedback on that. So very good. Authenticity goes a long way, right? You know, if people believe in it, then they'll shout it to the rooftops. So yeah, very good. So Jason, any last parting words? Let people know how they can get in contact with you. We'll post a link up to the Facebook group so they can jump in there. I've learned a lot. You guys post a lot of really valuable content in there, so I want to make sure people get a chance to jump into that. But yeah, how do people reach out to you? How do they check out Driven Nutrition? How do they set up their account? Any information you want to share along with that, and then any final parting words?
Right on. So just Driven Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram. You can, if you need to friend me up, go for it. I'm on Facebook. And let's see, if you want to just join the Building Retail group, go in there, use those tactics for yourself. If you want to get signed up, find out more about wholesale pricing, or you want to just, light a fuse and go tear it up and sell a boatload of supplements, great, I'm down. You can go to drivennutrition.net.com, either one. Up in the top right-hand corner, there's a link that says become an affiliate. You need to fill that out. Once you do, you'll go to a following page, and it'll have a quick video of me explaining what we need to do there. And essentially, we need to schedule a call. So the link for my calendar is linked up. Once we schedule a call, we'll be able to go through the vetting process, get you set up at wholesale pricing so you can order.
Cool. Fantastic.
And then we'll start the training process and get to be buddies.
Yeah, and then we plug it into BoxBuilder, and it's a win-win for everyone. So awesome.
Right on.
All right, brother. Well, cool. Well, hey, if you have anything else to add, feel free, post it up in the Facebook group at your will, because you get to see all the updates and cool things that we're doing inside of BoxBuilder. But yeah, that's basically our call today. I want to tease out something that I'm doing next Tuesday for everyone. This is a topic, Jason, you and I have talked about a few different times, and that's Facebook Messenger. And so I am doing a short, probably 30 to 45-minute webinar on Facebook bots for Messenger, and we're going to be building a Messenger bot. I've been teasing this out. I've been using this actually in my gym for a few months now. And what we're doing is we're looking for a few gyms to go on this journey with us, probably 10. We'll probably limit it to 10. And the reason for that is I want to really test this thing out. I want it to use it as a supplemental piece to BoxBuilder to help our gym owners, generate leads through Facebook, because that's a huge topic. A lot of people are investing a lot of different money in advertising and trying to figure out, crack this code. But there's some really cool things about Messenger. And Jason, you can probably even share some of your experience with, how you guys do it at Driven. But,
oh yeah. The bot was, as soon as I found out that something like that was available, I went deep into it as far as how it works, how it can be used, and especially for lead generation, but also for raising interest instantly. Like when we send a message out, we did this morning at 9:30. You probably got it. We have a 90%, 92% open rate on that message. We have about a 65% click-through rate. So if you're not one to promote an article about bike riding and disrupt, convert that over to selling a t-shirt or a competition you have for the weekend. Getting all of your members, all your potential members into that creates one of the best ways to communicate directly with those guys. And Mike, if you don't mind, I had thrown together a link. It was broken a little bit, but I think we've gotten it buttoned up. There's one that we use for affiliates that are interested in it. They can click on it, and then it'll take them through kind of a little bit of an ascension process of what we are, how we're a little bit different. So we use it. We use it constantly.
Cool. Well, I will. I'll grab that and drop that in the comments on this video so people can check that out. So I got a couple things to jump in there, but yeah, Facebook Messenger is huge, right? I was actually on the phone with a developer in preparation for this webinar next week. I was talking to him this morning, and we chatted for about an hour, and he told me open rates are anywhere from 60 to 100% on Messenger bots. Typical email is 20 to 50%, just depending on your audience. Click-through rates, on Messenger are 20 to 30% on average. And what did you say yours was today on that blast?
63% click-through.
Wow, that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, and then typical email is 2 to 5%, and so those numbers obviously depends on your clientele. We're measuring all that stuff in BoxBuilder, and we're definitely higher than the industry average, that's for sure. But Messenger will just be this other supplemental tool, and the things that we are planning on doing and introducing on Tuesday, I think, are going to blow a few people's minds. But we need a few gyms to test this out with, right? So there will be a financial commitment, and the reason for that is there's a lot of development that has to go into building this out. But I think people are going to be really, really happy with the product when it's ready to go. And it's going to, just enhance that client experience, which is such an important thing for me. It's really becoming my, my life's passion, the client journey and experience. I mean, that just comes from, a lot of my restaurant background, growing up in a service, oriented family. And it's what I love to do. And so, look for that on Tuesday, October 24th at 7:30 Central. We'll be broadcasting that live, just like this, in the Facebook group.
I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Sweet.
So. All right. Well, it doesn't look like we have any more questions or anything. So I'll grab those links from you and we'll post them up in the comments. And then I'm recording this, so we will publish it on TheBoxBusiness.com. And one of these days I'll get a podcast and all that going. But I got a YouTube channel, so we'll get that going. So Jason, once again, thank you very much for hopping on the call today. I learned a lot from you. I mean, we've talked many times, but every time I learn new things. So thanks for sharing. And I hope everyone, this was some great value for you. So any last words?
Sure. No, man. Thank you for jamming with me. I enjoy it. It's always a blast talking to you.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, everyone, have a fantastic weekend. If you are a Mizzou fan, we got an awesome basketball game on Sunday versus the KU Jayhawks. I will be there. So my friend Nick Reyes from CrossFit 913, who's a huge Jayhawk fan, you guys are going down. So I had to give him a shout out. So, all right, y'all, have a great weekend, and thanks for joining us today on BoxBuilder Live. All right, cool. You still there?
I am.
Cool, man. Hey, thanks.